Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 166. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I would like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app. We want you to be on it. For $3.99 per month, you can be part of that app. And what you will get with that is access to the greatest endurance trainer in the world, Ms. Valerie Hunt of RunRx.fit. And she will deliver to your calendar 3 body weight exercises every week, 4 barbell strength exercises, and 4 daily WODs. For $9.99 per month, you can have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer. Everything from 5K programs to 100-mile programs to triathlons to Spartan races. If you or someone you know does not have $3.99 per month, but you think that fitness would increase your life or their life, please email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. We'll be more than happy to add you to the app free of charge. I have sitting to my right the most wonderful person in the world, jacked and tan, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
What's up, Doc?
Good. What's new?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much.
The Reverend Vaughn Rawls.
Oh, right to me, huh?
Right to you.
No funny stories or anything?
No.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Do we need to move on? You got nothing?
I don't know. I always have something, sir.
If we want to go ahead and turn this into a therapy session, I'm happy to talk for the next hour.
Yeah, let's go. Well, it's a podcast. We should probably have something to talk about.
Okay, so I'm closing on my condo on Thursday. Very stressful time. After Thursday, we immediately go into the weekend where, despite the fact that I haven't run in like 8 weeks,
Oh, me neither.
I am doing back-to-back half marathons on Saturday and Sunday. And that is just in prep for the week leading up to Tunnel Hill, where I am pacing Dawn hopefully very, very late in her 100-mile race. So that I can actually keep up with her. I'm afraid that even at mile 75, she might still be faster than me for 25 miles. But we'll see.
Is that when you're going to pick her up at 75?
I think I'm picking her up at 75, and I think Jack Natan is picking her up at... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm picking her up at 50. You're picking her up at 75.
I think so. Something like that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got that backwards.
And who's bringing her home?
That would be Jack Natan.
You're going to go 25 miles all the way to the end?
I think so.
Look at that. That'll be fun.
I hope I'm the same way. I haven't been running, so I'm hoping that she's slow enough at that point
Right.
that I can keep up with her for the finish of her 100.
Well, and that's the thing. So they changed the rules. They changed the schedule. Let's call it that. At Tunnel Hill this year, normally the 50 and 100 milers start at the same time. And this year
which is what?
Was 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
And now the 50 milers are starting 2 hours later.
Right.
But they gave. I'm cutting in and out. I can't hear. Oh no.
You just keep talking, because even if you can't hear yourself, it's still getting recorded.
Sorry.
So.
April was supposed to run the first 50 miles with Dawn for her 100-miler. And apparently they gave April Hilston special permission as a 50-miler to start 2 hours earlier so that she can run with Dawn.
But just because of who she is?
Probably because she's a badass and, all that stuff. So we'll see. Anyways.
That's pretty awesome.
I know that she was concerned about getting a DNF. Like if she was going to sign it, because Amanda said just sign up for the 100 and then just do the 50 and pace Dawn. And she was concerned about getting a DNF, rightfully so. Someone like that, someone like me, it wouldn't make any difference. Somebody like her,
she probably actually cares about her ultra sign up stats and all that kind of stuff that are on there. So
I wonder how many people are going to sign up for the 100 just to pace people.
I heard a rumor that there might be somebody in the room that has done that.
That would be accurate.
Oh,
somebody in the room has
we won't say who it is,
has signed up for the 100 so that he can pace somebody through the first 50.
Oh,
No.
So it's a he. We're narrowing this down here, so it's a he. So it's not me.
Not me.
This is how bad I am. I'm wanting to be with a 100-miler so he can pace me through a 50.
Well, is that?
I've just gotten accustomed to. I enjoy running with Alan.
Yeah,
and
because
so,
you guys have been training together and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's
and 2 hours for me is significant. As long as it takes me to finish that thing, the difference between finishing that at 9 or 10 at night and finishing at midnight or 1 in the morning is a lot.
Yeah, I think that's going to keep a lot of people that this is their first time 50-miler or this is the quote-unquote easy 50-miler. I think it's going to keep them away. Like, they probably already signed up this year, so they're going to show up, but I think it'll keep future people away if they stick to this 9 a.m. start for the 50-milers because, like, it's already pitch black at 7, 8, 9 o'clock or whatever. So to think that you're going to finish 2 hours after that is it just means you're in the dark that much longer. That means like you're in the dark before you, like at our pace, we would be in the dark before we ever got to Tunnel Hill the first time, which means we'd have to put our headlamp on the first time we came back through Vienna.
Right.
Which is, I mean, that's just a long time to have to wear a headlamp.
Well, let's talk about that. So it's a 50-mile race. It started at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's November, the middle of November. It gets dark around 5:30, 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And because you're further north, it's probably a little bit earlier than what we're used to in Memphis or other places.
Let's say you run a 10-hour 50-mile race, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
That means you're finishing at 7 p.m.
And it's dark.
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
I think it's to give the 100-miler, because I think legitimately those people, there's a lot of people that show up to do the 100-miler Tunnel Hill because they're trying to set a record, but then also, they're wanting to run a fast 100-miler. And I think having to wade through, hundreds of 50-milers that aren't in any kind of a hurry is probably a pain in the butt.
It said in the email that it was to relieve the aid stations.
Oh.
Somebody's got gas stations on their mind.
We're heading to Dodges later.
And I guess there is a lot of congestion at the gas.
I want to go for a roller dog.
At the aid stations, I guess there's a lot of congestion.
I guess I always skip the first one.
But why wouldn't you do like 30 minutes?
30 minutes would be plenty. I thought the same thing.
Like why wouldn't you say, okay, you guys go at 30 minutes, 30 minutes later, and then if it's a pacer concern, I was running 100, I'll just wait. I'll just walk for 30 minutes until you can catch up with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I think there's
not everybody's as smart as I am.
What they trying to
do? But I also think you're probably faster than a lot of the people that show up at Tunnel Hill to try and do their first 100-miler, where a lot of people think it's going to take every minute of the 30 hours that they're given, and they don't want to wait 2 hours. They don't want to give up 2 hours of that 30 to wait on their pacer. Does that make sense?
Well, aren't they trying to deter the pacing anyway because you're not supposed to pace for the first 50?
No, not in the first, but I don't know what you're saying. I just said start the race 30 minutes later, not 2 hours.
Well, right now it's starting 2 hours later.
Right. Well, why don't you back that down to like 30 minutes?
Fair enough.
You said it was a congestion problem. Let the 100-milers go for 30 minutes and then send off the 50-milers. And if I'm a 100-miler trying to pace you as a 50-miler, I'll just go slow and wait for you to catch up with me 30 minutes later after I start.
That might work.
But like I said,
Nobody asked me to direct any races.
All right. I am not
I'm just
a race
happy
director.
that I'm starting at 7 and not 9. Preferably, I'd start at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. and just get it all out of the way early.
You saying nobody's asking you to direct any races? During our short break from podcasting, I spent a week in Austin, and I got to take part in a mobile pack of food boxes for Children's Hunger Fund. We filled 2,000 boxes for families in the Texas area. It's like 5 or 6 meals per box for families. Anyways, like Children's Hunger Fund does this a lot. And they usually do it on a much smaller scale, granted, like for churches that have like a couple hundred people, at most, and they might fill a couple hundred boxes. But we did 2,000 as part of a big conference that Katie was at. And I was just one of the guys like behind the line. So basically they asked every attendee of the conference to come through the line and fill a box. And literally it's, you grab the empty box, you put it on this like roller line, and somebody else puts the cans and the spaghetti and all the different things in it. And all they have to do is just walk to this line and walk down the line. And then at the other end, they hand it off to somebody else tapes it up. And so it's just like a feel good, like, hey, I got to help fill the box, right? So I'm behind the line while all the volunteers are walking by. I'm making sure that the boxes are there. So many thoughts and opinions about how we could have run this line better.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is like people got a discount. Attendees to the conference got a discount to a future conference for going through this line and for filling a box. And like some of them were only there to get their $25 savings that they were getting. And it's like, I feel like you guys have missed the point here, And it's like, oh, we could run this line so much better. It would be, I'm like, just go through the line and fill your box. Thanks for your help.
Get your discount and get out of here.
Thanks for your help. So anyways, you saying nobody's asked me to direct a race. As soon as you said that, I replayed the conversation we've had thus far about how Tunnel Hill should be done, and I could hear people saying the same thing to me about, it's like, you know what, like, let's just show up and race. And
I would like to believe that I complain about very little when it comes to efficiency or how things are organized, even if it's a disaster, because anybody that puts anything together can do that better than me. So putting together any sort of anything that involves a calendar, a date, and a time is just not my it's just not my thing. And so for people to go somewhere else and complain about somebody else's event when it's not like there's a lack of charity to be given out.
Right.
If you can do it so much better, well, by all means, run a charity event every weekend.
Exactly.
But don't come to somebody else's charity event and then complain about the efficiency of it.
I'm going to remind you of that when you get to Give Camp in February.
And I'm bitching about it.
Oh, are you gonna go for sure?
No, probably not.
Why not?
Because I'll be too intimidated.
I can't wait,
Dude.
to go.
Yeah, I'll go.
Make sure he goes.
You shouldn't be
I
intimidated.
will.
There was
I
literally
will.
a guy on one of my teams last year who didn't know anything, and he was just like, "I just want to be here to help."
He was like the cousin of one of our organizers, and like he doesn't have an IT background.
And he
but
was just like, I can copy and paste. Somebody literally,
That's what I'm talking
literally assigned him a task
Really?
of copy and pasting something into a spreadsheet.
So there is that. There's a need
Yes,
just for people
absolutely.
to help.
That is one of the things that we say over and over again. And just for the sake of the podcast listeners, I help coordinate an event in Memphis called Give Camp Memphis, where we bring together technology professionals together for a 48-hour weekend, and we do free projects for nonprofits.
And I worked an aid station once.
And it's an awesome event, but really we do ask the volunteers, like, put what knowledge you have aside. We just need you to show up with a willingness to want to help the nonprofits, and we'll find something for you to do.
Okay, I can get down with that for sure.
100%. Like, I mean,
I'm going to
so-
bring one of those bracelets like moms have put their kids on,
Yeah.
and just tether myself to you.
I mean, it may be something where like I could show you how to do something.
Yeah.
Like, and all of a sudden,
and then you got to replicate it.
it turns
50
out
times.
like 5 teams need this exact same thing done, and I can say, and I can just sit down for an hour and show you how to do something, and then go to that team and do that exact thing that I just taught you how to do.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a .NET developer, have been for 20 plus years at this point, and I've never ever done a .NET project at GiveCamp.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting project. That's a neat thing y'all have going on.
Yeah. So it's just you just gotta show up being willing to help. Anyways.
Speaking of running aid stations,
I was gonna say that. Go ahead.
How about it?
I ran my first. Well, I attended my first aid station.
You did more than attend.
So wait.
She ran it. She ran.
So now Wilson's not the only one that
That's right.
Right.
Now,
had
the whole
volunteered at an
family
aid
is.
station.
It's just
Can't stay on top forever.
it's like a couple of Mother Teresa's to both of you.
It kind of takes the sting out of my. Every time we get in an argument or something, I'm like, I worked at aid station, and now that she's worked in aid station, we're on level playing
Back on
field.
level playing field. So wait, we are talking about Walking Tall, right?
Yeah, Big Hill Pond.
Did
Yeah.
you do the enemy LHRL or another aid station?
No, she was with us.
That was
She was-
fun.
Yeah.
Well, the way you said you were
together.
running it, like I wasn't sure, like because you were there, right?
I was there.
Yeah, so
I think I was there.
That was a long day for y'all.
But you let the
It
doctor
was a
take
long
control
The
and
doc, man, she knocked it out of the park. She brought pans of pizza rolls, 2 big
Yeah.
pans. But the biggest
Huge.
the biggest home run was potatoes.
Oh yeah,
that
those
she
were a
made.
hit.
She made
was
these
that
potatoes.
you made them?
The pressure cooker potatoes.
I don't listen.
Did you
I will-
steal? Who is it?
April Hilson.
April's. I was going to
Yeah,
say
April,
April's the one
yes.
that's known for that.
These
yeah.
things were out of this world. I ate the whole tray. I felt bad for the
Sorry, runners. We're out of
for the
potatoes.
runners because I ate so many of them. But they were real. They ran out way fast. Like
Yeah.
before the pizza rolls ran out, people were just
Oh,
eating
those.
them.
You know what? Because they do potatoes at Sillamore.
They do.
Not
and-
like these.
But not like
I've never
these.
tasted a potato like these potatoes. They were
I
so
believe.
good.
I believe how amazing they were, but I'm just telling you how amazing those Sillamore potatoes are when you come through.
Uh-huh.
Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
also have the pan of salt for you to just to basically lather
right.
the
Yeah.
potato in before you eat it.
One guy took a Frito chip and dipped it in the salt.
So we had a
We had
bowl
a
of
bowl
salt.
of salt, just salt.
Big scoop.
Frito and dipped the salt.
Scoop.
And
That
ate
sounds
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there
try
was
that
somebody
when I
next
get
to him
home.
like, "Whoa, man, you got some balls."
I really wanted to figure out how to do chicken noodle soup this year.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure it out in time. So next year my goal is to get some sort of boiling.
I think
thing
I have one of those
where I can. I thought
right here. I swear to God, I
thought
think I
about
have one in the
it,
shop somewhere.
I
He
thought
just
about a
makes soup in a
fryer, like a
shop.
turkey fryer or something.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same thing that you would use to make a big vat of chicken broth or chicken noodle soup.
I
I
have
don't
a
know.
turkey
we'll
fryer.
figure it out.
I do.
yeah, but I thought so.
How come you never
next,
fried a turkey?
Because
Well, but-
no one's ever
so-
asked me.
So
Ron's
the thing
first
is, like,
one.
I'll tell you, like one of the years from one of my first 50 milers, I did Lipton noodle soup.
yeah.
And so I knew I wasn't going to be able to cook it that morning from the hotel or whatever, so I cooked it the day before and put it into a big
Thermos.
thermos. Thank you.
Words.
Reaching for that word.
Words is just hard.
Thermos.
And so the problem was that the noodles soaked up, like the noodles got like gross because they soaked up too much of the stuff. So you got to figure out how to separate
Right.
it and then
Well, I don't
re-add
know.
the noodles at
Yeah.
the last minute.
I don't know how they do it at Sillamore, but there's one aid station like at mile 18 and like 26,
Yep. We'll go
where
with that.
they usually have chicken noodle soup or chicken broth or something.
Well, I mean, we could do some big like Hungry Man, cans of soup. Just pour them into a thing, and then with like a turkey fryer that's got like a propane heater under it. You just heat it up and dip it
If
up.
you have chicken broth and a lot of salt, then
That's
you're
it.
going to have the
You don't
best
even
chicken
need the
noodle soup
noodles.
on the
Yeah,
planet
right.
at an aid station.
That's what I
it's
was
like
thinking.
when I went and got these bags of pizza rolls. Amanda looked at them; they were Kroger knockoff pizza rolls. She's like, "Are those the same as the
No, they weren't,
pizza
but they
rolls?"
worked.
And I was like, "These people are going to be running 30 miles. Like they're not going to care what kind of."
Those pizza rolls are going to be amazing.
And they were amazing.
Even cold.
Nobody's going to, I mean, think about what these people are going through before they eat that stuff. Of course, I thought they tasted great and I hadn't even gone through anything. I was eating them the morning of. It's a great feeling to have like 8 pounds of pizza rolls in the trunk of your car.
I feel like if you could just carry 8 pounds of pizza rolls around with you, you could just do anything.
And there's no reason not to.
I'm prepared for whatever.
Yeah, bring it on.
I've got 8 pounds of pizza rolls.
Come
and
on,
a
life.
glass of water.
Come on, life. Flat tire, blown engine, whatever.
I
Hostage
think we had
situation.
the coolest aid station. I think we had.
Absolutely.
If somebody stuffed you in the trunk of your car, you could live for months.
I said that our mission is to have the world's greatest aid station, and someone actually said that.
Yeah.
Somebody
really?
we didn't even
I did.
know.
Yeah.
Somebody
girl.
that's not a listener to the podcast that
Yeah.
we've set up for them to tell us that.
No.
Okay.
This person, I have no idea who it was.
And they said it exactly.
This is the world's greatest aid station. And I was like, well, you just said our mission, so we win.
So how did the race go for everybody? Like that you guys saw? I mean, was it a good race?
I had no cutoffs.
Okay.
Yeah. We had one guy that was close, but he
I
made it.
had one. Let me tell a story about a guy that I
Tell a story
don't know
about a
who
guy.
he is, and I don't know if he'll ever see this. If he does, maybe he can come and tell his side of the story.
Okay.
But one guy,
Are you about to be mean to somebody?
no, maybe.
If you need to be, go ahead.
You go ahead and be mean. I'm just messing with you. I'm just fussing.
Some
Here's
you
the
off.
thing.
Yep.
This one guy, his wife was waiting. He got to be out this loop at 2:30. We have to send you out from our aid station at 2:30, right?
If you're after 2:30, you can't go out.
You're cut off, man. You know, that's just it. The guy gets in there at 1:30. His wife is there, his dog. Sweet, great people, great dog. And so I go, dude, you've got 1 hour to run basically a 5K is what this loop is. It takes a good runner 45 minutes to get this loop done. Let's go. You need to go.
Oh wait, no, he had 1 hour to leave before you had to start that 5K.
No, it was 1:30. He has to leave our aid station at 2:30.
Yeah.
Circle
So he had
around
to
and
hit
make
it.
it
So
back.
he's got
We're at a loop.
he's got an
you guys are
hour.
a
He's
loop.
got
We're
to
at a
make
loop.
the loop and leave.
and not an
I'm
easy
sorry.
loop.
That's the part
and
I was
so whatever, went on his way. And his wife said something like, "Gotta hurry. Even though you have an hour, you got to go." And I was like, "Yes, she's right." We're waiting. Everybody comes out of the loop. He was the last person to go in. And so he comes. So we're waiting. It's like 2:20, 2:25. He comes down the hill. I was like, "Yes, you got to go. We got to get you out of here. Give me your bottles." And he said something I didn't understand what he said, but he gave me his bottles, and I went and filled them up and brought them back to him. And then somebody at the aid station said, "Did you hear what he said to you?"
I was the one that heard it.
And I said, "No, I didn't hear it." And he said, "Don't lollygag.
No,
like you
no,
were-
don't dilly-dally
don't
this
dilly-dally
time.
this time filling up my bottles." And I was like,
I want to be like,
"Okay."
motherfucker, you're the one about to get cut off.
Like, you are almost done with this. You're about to get pulled from this race.
You're going to tell somebody that's filling up your water not to
Right.
dilly-dally.
I'm trying to help you, man.
Let's be honest. Like perspective of where we're at and what's the distance at this point? in the race?
26 miles.
26 miles. We don't know
Probably
what kind
delirious.
of a runner this
Right.
Very
person
true.
is.
Very true.
And we don't know what mental state he's in. And so let's
right.
give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not normally that guy.
Right.
But he's probably been obsessing for the last 50 minutes about the extra 30 seconds somebody took
Well, here's the thing.
to fill his water bottle. And so that was the first thing that came to
All right.
mind.
I'll
And
give you that.
Well, let me continue here. So I feel I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I feel a special bond with these people that come through this aid station.
These are your people. You're sending them out.
Especially the ones that are later in the race.
Yeah.
I want to help them. And when I it's even better when we're done and we pack up and we go to the finish line, watching these people come through the finish line that you were like, "Oh, yes, I'm so glad that you made the cutoff. I'm so glad that you finished the race." Not even made the cutoff, just you're here at the finish line. You ran the race, and I'm so proud of you. And
you just did a 50K regardless.
but it makes me feel good that, like, if somebody comes through and goes, "Oh, my legs are hurting," and I give you some mess caps, and you finish the loop and you come off the loop and you're like, "Oh my God, that helped so much. Thank you." It makes me feel really good. And then when you go to the finish line and you see that person come across, you're like, so I was there waiting for this guy. You know, I was like, the last guy we sent through the loop, I want to see him, you know, and I never saw him. He didn't make the cutoff.
Oh no.
They took the thing off. They took the sign down. Someone saw him come across the finish line cursing and like pissed off. I don't know if he was pissed off about the clock not making
Probably
the thing.
you dilly-dallying.
He was just like, I'm done with this shit, and I'm getting in the fucking car and getting out of here. Like, I was like, oh, man, he was mad. I was going to go find him and say, even though he missed the cutoff, congratulations on running the
50K.
Yeah,
the 50K. But I didn't get to see him, and someone said he just went straight to his car and took off. So
He had a bad day.
and as we all do.
Yeah, but you know, back to your conversation about like seeing these people across the finish line. You are part of their success story of finishing that 50K or that 25K.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so that's got to make you feel good.
It does. It's awesome.
Like, you know, you were part of what made them be able to finish the race. So
It's
got to be an awesome thing.
I spent like 4 hours creating the most perfect 8.5 hour playlist to play on the
Yeah,
thing.
it was a good
And
playlist.
every time someone came through and was dancing and was saying, "This is awesome," I was like, "Yeah, it is," because I spent 2 hours building 8 hours worth of music.
The music is nice.
Yeah,
It is really
it
a
is.
nice feeling.
It makes a huge difference.
We met a guy, Steven Godman, that was at our aid station that helped work it.
That's all right. We
And
did. His
he
mom
reached-
ran the 50K or the 25K.
Yeah.
One of them.
And he reached out to us asking about Olive Branch CrossFit, and he's going to come check it out.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yep.
I didn't have a very good day that day, Thirsty.
I'm sorry.
It was tough on a brother. I got about,
Did they not have pizza rolls when you came back through?
they were all out of pizza rolls when I got there.
Well, how far did you run the weekend before?
35 miles, I think.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was the week after the Tour de Spirit.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Which is a 24-hour race, and you run as
Yeah.
far as you can run in 24 hours.
And it was that factored in on some level, but I mean, most of it just had to do with my level of fitness as a runner, which is not good. I didn't have high hopes of finishing the thing, but I got out there in the first mile. I was like, if I can find an aid station, I'm just going to drop. Like I'm done. And I'm stopping. I can't get, I had like, I guess it was like lactic acid in my calves and in my ankles, and it just hurt. Like every step was like, God dang. Like, you know, sometimes you get that and you know it's going to go away, but it just wasn't. It was getting worse. And I was like, God. And I thought at mile 1, I was like, I would drop right now. And mile 2, I was like, I would drop right now. Mile 3, 4, 5. And then finally I got to like mile 5 and I was like, all right, I think I'm okay. And then I get to their aid station. I'm like, I'm going to keep going, I guess. But when I get back here, I told him when I get back here, like I'm sitting down and I'm done, which that's really early
He
to
said,
call
have my chair ready for me. We're calling.
and that's not helpful, you know, to call that shot that early in the game. So, you know, like part of you's like, well, I've already quit, so screw the whole thing.
The downside is like you knew that aid station and the people at the aid station so well, because normally at any other race you wouldn't have
That's
felt
true.
comfortable
Right.
like stopping at an aid station and being like, you know what, somebody will come get me eventually.
Well, I told Amanda that's the beauty of like our people.
Right.
Like nobody was going to say, come on, man, like you got to do this.
Not like you. They're not.
'Cause I would've
they're
been
not-
like-
they're not a jerk like you and make people go out after they're done running.
Touche. Touche.
He did. He
Well,
dug
I think
himself
I
that
think
hole.
there's a level of understanding about where I was. If it was really important to me, then yeah, they would have been like, "This is a go."
So, what was your training like between Tour de Esprit and Big Hill Pond?
I've run a lot between
I mean
between
the week.
tours.
Did you rest or did you?
I don't think I did much anything.
Okay, I
I
mean,
think
so
you rested, yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
think.
curious.
Yeah, I think I should have been good. I really don't feel like that a lot of it was from. I'm sure there had to be some kind of something in there, but I didn't go out there feeling like, oh, this is because last week. Yeah, I just felt like crap. You know, I just didn't really feel very good. But the day was still good. I really liked that course. I really liked that place. But
Right.
you know, I was out there, and you know how when you get out there and you're alone and there could be somebody 30 seconds ahead of you and 30 seconds behind
But
you,
you don't
and
see
you
'em.
feel like I felt like everybody was at the finish line.
Right.
You know, I don't know what time I don't really kind of understand like what time it is, and I'm thinking all the aid station workers are waiting on me. I've already missed cutoff, and so finally I get to the tower, which at the tower I'm like, I'm dropping, and Charlie's like, you can't drop from down there. And I'm like, no, I dropped. She's like, you're not allowed to. You got to come up the stairs. I'm like, God dog it. So I, waddle upstairs, and I'm like, how far is the aid station? Vaughn and Amanda's aid station. And they're like 6 miles. I'm like, Jesus, I don't want to go 6 miles. And they were telling me it was basically 2 miles and then the loop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And so I cut off to James. They said, take the shortcut over to James. He's about a mile. So you can go
And
over
he
there.
drove you over to us.
And so I walked over to James, and of course James is giving me a bunch of crap. And then I was like, drive me over to them. So he did. And
Mentally tough day, sounds like.
it was
I'm not to downplay the physical aspect of it, but it seemed just
really the mental. I was pretty good mentally. I was enjoying. I really was. I enjoyed the day. It wasn't a dark day. It wasn't like I was running around being like, oh, this sucks. I felt the day was really good. I mean, I feel like I almost got out of it about what I expected to get out of it.
Okay.
So that's just a great race. That's a great course.
I have heard nothing but good things about Brian and Sean knocking it out of the park again.
But I need to do better. And I tell you what has happened. I got on our treadmill. I haven't been on a treadmill in like 5 years probably. Less than that. But I haven't been on one for like any.
Is that Vaughn's treadmill from the gym?
Could be. Maybe. And I listened to music. I haven't listened to music, no kidding, in
Oh man, I
probably
walked
4
in, he had
years.
headphones on. I was like, "What are you listening to?"
Did you have those headphones?
Dude,
No.
no. I would have short circuited these things out, man. It'd be like flames coming out of my head. Man, that's where it's at. Like listening to music while you're on a treadmill is great.
Man, I'd rather take a beating while getting a root canal than run on a treadmill.
I've been on the treadmill probably 7 out of the last 9 days.
Really?
6 out of the
That's
last
awesome.
8 days. And the first day I was on there, all I do is junk miles all the time, just real slow crap miles. And so I was getting excited. So I'm like, putting it up to 5, putting it up to 6, putting it up to 7. I'm telling myself like, don't do this, man. This is not a good thing for you. Like, don't hit the next button. And I did. And I woke up the next morning 90% sure that I had torn my ACL. Like I'm thinking I got to go to Campbell's Clinic and have, I just like slept on it funny, and I couldn't hardly straighten my leg. And it was just like
You just pushed yourself.
getting old, man, and trying to run, just get on there getting excited. You can't get excited. So
Just got to keep it level.
that's right. That's right.
So, Tunnel Hill's next for you?
Yes, it is.
Tunnel Hill, are you doing Big River Crossing with me? Are we doing
I
a
will be
return?
there.
We doing? So
I hate that course.
It starts down at Tomley Park, and effectively we run across Harahan Bridge, run like the crappily paved trails over in West
so
Memphis,
terrible.
and then come back across the bridge and finish in Tomley Park. It's a half marathon.
Oh, that's fun.
I enjoy it because every year I run with either Amanda and or Dawn, and usually none of us are well trained
When
for
is
it.
that?
So
And
it's
again,
this
me
coming
and Brian
weekend,
have both not
Saturday.
ran in like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So this ought to be interesting. And I actually signed up and was going to go to Wade's, and it started raining the day before. And I was like, I don't want to
Oh,
get.
man.
have
Holy
y'all
cow!
seen the
Can we
pictures?
talk about
I
Wade's?
don't
So
know.
I'm
Do
like,
we have
oh, I
time,
don't want to
Melissa?
get in the mud. Man, Melissa's, because me and Melissa were going to go, and I texted her, I'm like, I don't know about the mud. I don't want to hurt my foot again. How about we just, back out? She's like, that's fine. I need a babysitter anyway, whatever. She sends me pictures of, like, people racing. They were
They
swimming.
literally had to
They
swim
were swimming.
several
So
times.
Wade's Big Adventure is an 8 or 18 mile run in Memphis. That is a trail run. I've done it a couple times.
But
Yeah.
now,
but-
to be honest, there's only they're across the deeper ravines or creeks or whatever. There are bridges. there's only a couple places where you actually have to like jump the creek on a dry day, right?
Well, even on the races that I've done there, were all dry days, quote unquote. There was still like several sections of pretty muddy spots, whereas like my foot goes down to my ankle in the mud or whatever. But this is like way beyond that. Like they had past weekend they swam.
Yeah, even the creeks that have bridges, the bridges were underwater, which is just nuts.
Yeah, Melissa sent me a picture, and she's like, "Good thing we didn't run." She had circled, and there was a guy from like upper shoulders up out of the water. I was like, "Oh my gosh."
I can't think of who it was from our Slack group. I think it was
Gavin.
Talked about like he jumped in expecting to be for it to be like waist deep, and he went in over his head and never touched the bottom.
He said 2 feet over his head and never touched the bottom. That would freak me out.
It would freak me out too.
If I wasn't prepared for that, we
had another one that got panicked and thought he was going to drown because he was breathing all crazy. Was it TJ?
Yeah. That was some scary stuff,
That was
man.
scary. That's scary.
That's the kind of stuff that people exaggerate. That looked like
what
people make Sillamore sound like.
When the conversation,
but it was really that.
Right.
When the conversation started, I was glad you actually asked the question because I think TJ was the one that said like, "Oh yeah, we had to swim," and you were like, "Are you talking about like literal swimming or like are we just like funning here or whatever?"
Like trail runner swimming?
Yeah, like is it trail runner swimming? And he's like, no, like literally had to swim several times. And I'm like, holy crap! Like that's just not
Nope.
like. I think I would have noped out of the first.
I would have if I got
think-
there. I'd been
yeah.
like, nope.
I noped out like when I was at the gym. I was at the gym working out. And we had the doors open, and it started just pouring down. I was like doing burpees over the bar, and you know that big. We had this big box fan that's like 5 feet by 5 feet. This gust of wind comes in, and that fan starts coming right towards me. And I'm like, God, that thing, what's going on here? We had to shut the doors. It was bad. And I was like, I'm glad I'm not trying to run 18 miles.
You know, maybe it's just about mental strength for me, but like I go to Sillamore and I'm prepared for the creek crossing, right? Like whether it's ankle deep, knee deep, thigh deep, or chest deep, it doesn't matter.
You're aware that it could possibly be pretty deep.
It doesn't matter. I know I've got to cross a creek, and it's going to be what it is, But, like, I think Wade's would throw me off. Like, not expecting to have to swim across a
100
creek.
yards or whatever. Like, whatever. Like
That's just crazy. Anyways. Vaughn, what's your next race?
Hopefully Sillamore.
You're not doing St. Jude this year?
I'm not doing St. Jude this year, no.
I'm supposed to be doing the half. I talked to Melissa into Big River next week too. So
just right now?
I really
no, this morning.
Oh.
I hope that I can do the 50K.
Okay.
At Sillamore.
Sign-ups are coming up.
Yep.
Like Friday.
November 1st. Yeah.
No, it's like 2 weeks. In November.
It is. It's Friday.
She's
right?
trying to keep other people from getting her spot. Is what she's
Yeah.
trying.
It's next. Not this Friday.
Yeah,
next
it's
Friday.
next Friday.
You guys, be sure next Friday, November the 11th.
It's funny. I've got a lunch meeting on Friday at 11:30, and I put it on my calendar, and I already told my buddy. I was like, I may have to get up and leave the table if we're still there at 1.
Speaking of you talking about not liking the course at Big River, Peter Mellon, who is taking over the Stinky Creek, who's going to be on the podcast. He is like dead set on you. He will do.
The man was at the aid station as a runner, stopped and was trying to talk me into running.
He's going to be. He'll go out there with a grinder and grind down routes to make sure that you've got to run it.
I didn't realize who it was. He starts eating a potato and he goes, "So what if I give you a discount code?"
Next September.
I owe him a message.
And I was like,
Yeah, or whenever. Yeah. He's coming on the podcast in November sometime. His daughter is at St. Jude and is on the Domino's pizza boxes for St. Jude. A friend of his in Mississippi sent him a picture and check this out. Your daughter and her twin, they're doing a St. Jude. Every time you order this pizza and
Yeah,
you know,
it's a
2 liter
season
Coke
of
or something.
giving, and a lot of corporations.
Then they'll
join in on that.
give money to St. Jude, and he's a good guy. And
He is a good guy. I actually owe him a message. He I don't know when. Maybe I posted something on Facebook about the fact that I was moving or whatever, and I said I was going to Germantown. He reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I'm in Germantown. If you ever need a running buddy, you let me know."
yeah,
So he is a good guy.
yeah, he's all about the community. He can do good things with Stanky Creek, and he might. I think he mentioned maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's spreading rumors. Never mind. You know, I don't.
He killed somebody?
Don't spread rumors.
I don't attain information very well. I know that Herb Parsons has gone away, and I don't know if he said he was thinking about taking that over, or maybe I just thought, well, since
Well, let's
Taking
just
over.
pressure him into doing that.
Peter Mellon has taken Herb Parsons, and he's going to be
And
putting
we're
it on.
going to do that. That's right.
That's fantastic. I'm so excited to run that in January. So I hope he can get all that stuff together by then.
Guess what we have?
What do we have?
Well, we have a problem, which hopefully y'all can help me
And
solve
we
that.
also have a 5-star review.
But we also have reviews.
Reviews.
Would
the
you
S.
like for me to read them?
I want you to tell me about your problems first.
Here's our problem. Tim Oberholze
Yes.
has left the review for the cup,
Oh,
for the
Okay.
Driven Nutrition shaker bottle.
Okay.
And I need to send this to him, but I don't have his information. He's not on Facebook.
We don't know who
I
he
feel
is.
like he's probably going to be a regular listener, and he can help us out with that.
Tim, I need you to email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Send me your address, and I will mail you your Driven
He
Nutrition
probably lives
cup.
in China.
Yeah, that's the way it's going to be.
that or somebody that's going to pretend as him is going to go get that.
No.
I
I'm
sent
pretty sure he's in
a
the
shirt
States.
to Kenya.
I did a Google.
Did they ever get that shirt?
No, but just somebody in Kenya, some security guy. in
Well,
Kenya
we're
is
the
wearing a
number
Lift
one
Heavy-
fitness podcast
We
in
certainly
Kenya,
are.
So, I mean, literally. So hopefully they got their shirt.
All right, here's Tim
You know,
Oberholze's
it's good to
review.
know that we are helping these super fast Kenyans be better runners by
that's what it
our
is.
podcast.
You know
That's
what it
why
is?
they're setting world records
Over-
and stuff like that. Is because
It's a joke. It's a joke. There's a group of runners over in Kenya that like fly over here and win marathons, and they're like super skinny, and they're like making fun of us. They're like, I found a podcast called Lift Heavy Run Long. And they all like talk shit about us all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to order a T-shirt.
This 250-pound fat guy sent me this shirt. Runs a 15-minute mile.
He's like, I'm going to buy his T-shirt and I'll wear it. He's like wearing it for Halloween.
You know,
I dressed up as one of those idiots over in America.
for Halloween, I thought about going as like a member of the Ethiopian Olympic team and wearing just a really too small running outfit. And I thought that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
All right, here's 5-star review.
Let's hear it.
I don't even lift heavy. I found the LHRL podcast more than a year ago. I am a runner, not a CrossFitter or a lifter yet. This is without a doubt my favorite podcast. A new episode is an absolute must listen as soon as possible. I've never met any of the hosts, but I feel like I am sitting on the couch in the middle of the conversation. They keep listeners engaged with the realities of life and all the ups and downs that go with trying to be healthy while also being real. This isn't elite. It is reality, and it's what makes it great. The fact that Big Thirsty is a Notre Dame fan doesn't hurt either. Go Irish. And here's a mention of Driven Nutrition, which I have never used, so I can't honestly endorse on one way or the other. Tim O. in Royal, Idaho. How's that?
Well, he's in Idaho, so we know he's not.
So we know he's not in
There we
wherever.
go. That's an awesome review.
We our Irish head took a beating on Saturday.
Well, it happens.
Hey, Tennessee won. Yeah.
And Mississippi lost again and again and again, because that's what we're doing now, is just losing.
I'm sorry.
And what
I'm not as used to this as you are.
would really be but you're also a Notre Dame fan. You know, I've thought that about like it would be best to vet the kids like with a fallback team.
Okay.
Like raise them to be Mississippi State fans, but also, you know, Florida State fans or Notre Dame fans or somebody that's predominantly
really
good. So they've always got that. And then they can say, I've been a fan of this all my life instead
sure.
of jumping on the bandwagon.
Sure.
When did you become a Notre Dame fan?
After he watched Rudy.
Last year.
My parents grew up like 10 miles from the campus, so it's kind of a lifelong thing for me.
So you've grown up with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My family was never huge on football, but we always loved Notre Dame. I caught the football bug with Carol and the boys. That's really when I hardcore started paying attention to college football and stuff like that. But
do you know that ESPN Game Day is coming to Memphis?
I heard that. Yeah.
Wow.
Is it the
big thing, dude? Big things are happening in the city, man.
They don't do that every year?
No, not for
this is
Memphis.
This is
never.
the first time ever that they've come to Memphis.
Really?
We're so spoiled with it with the SEC because the SEC is just so dominant. People want to come
they
here.
Came
They've
to
been,
Oxford.
yeah,
didn't
they've been to
They
Oxford.
come to Oxford.
Okay,
They
that's
come to
what I was-
Mississippi State.
gotcha.
But coming to
That's what I was
Memphis is a big thing. And the reason that they come to Oxford or Mississippi State is, they have to plan
because
these
Alabama's
things.
there?
Because it's the biggest game they can find relative to what else is going on and where else they've been.
They try and spread the love around, and I think if there's another top 25 matchup this weekend, like one of the two teams has already had a game day this year. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to downplay like it's a good thing for Memphis.
Right.
Like Memphis and SMU, both top 25 teams, so it is a big matchup this weekend. But they're just trying to spread the love around, and it's awesome. Apparently, they're going to be down on Beale Street because the game's not until 6:30. So, starting Saturday morning, they're going to be on Beale Street doing all the stuff that they would normally do.
I think that we should all wear sports bra and we should all go topless and paint ourselves and do LHRL and stand in front of the thing and jump up and down.
I was trying to get Gary Owens to streak in a LHRL tank top.
That's even better. He'll do it.
I'll wear a LHRL sports bra on
You will?
TV. Totally.
You should do that. That'll be fun. I'll watch it from my house.
Give me a pink wig and a LHRL sports bra.
We've got them. And booty shorts. We've got those too. Would you be willing to do that?
I would.
That's good promo. I'm hoping that Memphis's coach will go to Mississippi State. That would be great. We need a coach.
Norval?
Yeah.
Oh, please don't take him. We like him.
He can only stay around so long. It's Memphis. He'll be gone in 2 years.
Why would he want to go to state?
Well,
I don't know that he'll want to go to state, but he's not going to want to stay in Memphis.
Oh.
I mean, Fuente thought he got his dream job at Virginia Tech, and that program hasn't turned out to be what either he's not the coach the world thought he was, or that program isn't what he thought it was, one or the other, or both.
Yeah. Really, I don't care if he goes to Mississippi State or
So
not.
how
I just
much-
want our coach now to leave. Even if our coach just leaves and no one comes in to replace him, that would be fine.
So how much is it the program and how much is it the coach?
That's a good question. Coaches make a big difference.
The coach has to be able to convince the player that they're going to be able to contribute, and that the coach is going to be able to help the player meet whatever goals that they have. And usually that's going pro, or getting a degree or whatever it is, and that kind of a thing. And
But also, I think a good example is look at Penny Hardaway.
yeah,
Has come to Memphis to coach basketball, and these kids want to come play for him.
well, yeah, because he
between
between he and Mike Miller, I mean, they both have at least one championship ring,
Right.
And so like these kids are all trying to go pro,
right, and that's
so
just an
it's like-
example of if the coach is somebody important.
And of course, it doesn't hurt. Have you guys watched any of the practices with Anthony and Mike Miller?
Yeah.
Mike Miller and Anthony Hardaway will actually play like the two of them against the college squad and just dropping shots over and over again. And so like the kids are like, so this is not just the coach saying, hey, you need to be able to do this. This is a coach getting out there and being like, and this is how it's done.
This is how you do it. Yeah. And kids that's going to resonate with kids. Like he's been to the show.
Right.
And that's where they all
He
want
knows
to go.
he knows how to make it. He knows what it takes to get there.
Yep.
He's got the mentality and all the other stuff that needs to be there. So
I'll give you an example of I mean, you can find thousands of them, but as far as a coach goes, Melrose High School, who I don't know where they are now, but they were a perennial powerhouse in the mid 90s up until the 2000s. They were always the best athletes in Memphis, always, but they just didn't have any coaching. They're just running around and no discipline, and nobody knows A doesn't know what B's doing. And then they come in there and they get those coaches and they start churning out people to Alabama and SEC schools and, winning state championships back to back. And that's just all about, somebody that can get through to them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Moorhead at Mississippi State ain't getting through to anybody, but whatever. Again, I couldn't do a better job, so I shouldn't be complaining.
It is what it is.
Are you running? You're not running Tunnel Hill?
No.
You gonna be at Tunnel Hill?
I don't think I'm going to be. I really wanted to be there, but I just don't think it's going to work out.
I knew Holly said y'all were debating.
Yeah.
What about Vicky Thumbstrom's McDeadlift?
I don't know, but that was the coolest ass.
And she PR'd it too.
Yep.
What?
She posted about eating McDonald's the night before she was going to do a 1 rep max on her deadlift, and because she was talking about our Tour de Spree conversation.
Oh, okay.
And the
When
McDonald's.
Brian brought us a whole sack of
19 of them.
fries and
And-
McDonald's cheeseburgers.
And so she ate, and I'm going to make up the days, like Thursday night she had McDonald's, and Friday morning she got up and, went and PR'd her deadlift like a boss.
Oh, nice.
Man, there is something to be said for just eating a lot if you're going to deadlift or squat.
That's true.
Science says the heavier you are, the more you can lift.
Oh, you know what? Made me really sad. You said squat. I was at work the other day. We decorate pumpkins for each department. Gets a pumpkin, and it's a non-puncture pumpkin decoration contest. So they won't rot in the hospital. Anyway, so
I never put that together. Go ahead.
Non-puncture.
yeah, you can't
I thought that was a
punch
medical
it
term
or
thing.
cut it anyway. You have to just like glue crap on it or whatever you want to do to it. Anyway, so we were all like carrying our pumpkins down the hall to set on the tables for display for everybody to vote on. And this one girl was doing like a peacock pumpkin, and the feathers were coming off. So I got down the floor with her to help glue them back on. And one of the ladies standing there was like, "Oh, I'd help you, but I can't squat down." And I thought, my God. You can't squat, and it's just like, you can't squat down. I mean, what if you fell down? How you gonna get up? Just made me think like just functional fitness. Like I wanted to grab her and just be like, let's go to CrossFit right now. Let's go. But I just thought about that.
There's a lot of people like that.
Made me sad.
yeah.
It made me really sad.
Well, we got.
And she's not that old.
We got to find ways to make the small steps. It's like the Legion of Longevity guy, with his parents.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's just do this and practice you getting up off the couch over and over again, and then we'll work on improving from there. But
That's what
they got to want to do it. I mean,
that's what Greg Glassman is doing right now.
Well, and it's what's important. I mean, I don't care how you look at it. It's what's important. What the powerlifting that I'm doing has very little. There's very little good to come out of that at the end of the day, versus just doing air squats, body squats. Stretching, getting in a squat position and holding that. All the endurance races that we do and things like that. There's very little good, I believe, from a longevity standpoint compared to just getting out and taking brisk walks and, getting in the habit of having some level of fitness. Doesn't have to be crazy level.
Or just not eating McDonald's cheeseburgers.
But that's impossible. I can't do that part of it. I just can't do that part of it.
Vicky's listening right now. She said
Yeah, I saw that.
cheeseburgers for the win.
Cheeseburgers for the win.
That's a thing, man. And I kind of thinking, since we were doing that 24-hour race, that like I need them at my next race.
Yeah, every race.
I got
yeah.
you, bro.
Like you know how I don't even know if they have a McDonald's at Sylamore in Arkansas, but we'll have to bring them with us. right?
They're
We
in
could buy
in
'em.
Allison.
We got one right across from our hotel.
We could buy
I
them
bet there is. Yeah.
right now and take them with us. They'd still be the same.
It would take you 3 months from now. They would be the same.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
wouldn't-
it's
they
not.
wouldn't.
It's
Just leave
not
them in the
real.
back
we
of your
can
car.
we can play like disc golf
Right.
with them and throw them out on the course.
It is
and
not
just
real
leave 'em.
food at all, but it's something that I could eat. I feel like
Yeah.
I ran
100%.
20 miles in. I'm like, give me some of them fries. Those salty.
I think my
fries, man.
only request about a McDonald's cheeseburger would be hold the onions, because I feel like I'd be burping that up later, and that
Maybe.
wouldn't be pleasant.
I don't know. I must have eaten 10 of those things he brought.
Mathematically, you could not have because there was 19.
Oh,
and
No, I
okay.
brought 24.
Oh, you did? Okay, maybe you did.
I don't know.
I ate a lot.
I ate
Even
a
the
lot.
next day, I ate a lot.
Oh, and I left them on the table because they were kind of wet and stuff. I left them on the table when we were leaving. He goes to the car, stops, turns around, walks back over to Sean's tent, and gets the bag and brings it back with us. And I'm like, that's gross. He's like, what? I'm not leaving
Don't
these.
judge me.
That's yep.
He's like, what?
They're still
Yeah.
good.
You don't know nothing about my nutrition. I love
You
those
think
things.
he gets this svelte off of
That's right.
off of
I didn't get this
chicken and
way off
broccoli?
of watching what I eat.
Chicken and broccoli.
Chicken and broccoli. Man, that man eats a lot of broccoli, doesn't he? He looks like he eats a lot of broccoli. People say that all the time. They say two things to me. One, are you hurt? And two, do you eat a lot of broccoli?
You must eat a lot of vegetables.
And why are you limping? I don't even know you. Why are you asking me if I'm hurt? I don't even know you. I just walk this way.
You
My,
okay?
my family walks this way. Camille Herron, 168 miles in 24 hours.
That is nuts.
Holy.
168 miles.
Where was she when she did this?
I don't know.
Was she at the Nike?
I think she was in another country, wasn't she?
She did some 24-hour race, like a Tour de Spree type deal, but I don't know where it was at. But 168 miles, that's a whole nother
incredible.
level. Because I want to say, I'm trying to think of Tour de Spree. So Tour de Spree, a couple of local running stores always have their really fast team. Breakaway and Fleet Feet have their fast teams. And I don't think, like, teams of people running, 4 and 5 minute miles, I don't think they do 168 miles.
That's
let
a good
alone.
question. I would like to know what, like, the breakaway teams
Yeah, I would
do
like to know
every
what
year.
they're and the way that works is, and some of the teams do it differently. It's like sometimes a guy or girl will run they'll run 5 minute miles and then hand off the baton. Sometimes they do like 1 mile fast, hand off the baton after every single mile. But there's only 10, 15 people on the team that are doing that for 24 hours or whatever. But still, 168 miles by herself. Wow.
So is this like? Do you know where it was? Like trail?
Give me a
or-
second.
I don't know.
Because if she had like hills and stuff involved, I mean, she could
I want to say it was
do
in
200
France
miles in one day. You know,
or Italy or something. I may be completely making that
I'm
up.
gonna go run in France from Italy.
I'm just going to go run 168 miles, 24 hours. I wonder what that mile time is.
How long would it take you to run 160?
Yeah, how long do you think will it take you to run?
I could do it in a week.
A week?
I think I could.
7 days?
I don't know that I could. That's 30. I mean, that's 25 miles a day. That's a
Basically
lot.
a marathon
That's
day.
a lot. So yeah, it'd take me 7 days probably. Probably take me 8 days.
I don't know that I
run
could do it. When I think about those people running like marathons, multiple, I don't think I could run a marathon one day and
Germany.
then stop for a day and then
no,
go the next day.
yeah,
and
that
do
would
it.
be terrible.
I mean, I ran 100 miles, but like it was all at one time.
Yeah,
International Association of Ultra Runners 24-hour World Championship on Sunday with a world best performance of 167.842 miles, finishing 16K ahead of the second place finisher.
Dang,
She was running for
that chick is rocking.
she was running for Team USA.
And she's,
Oh, it was in France.
What's her logo? I
said
I'll be
France.
I don't
I'll be
know.
Yeah,
She
look
eats
at there.
Taco Bell. She's like
Yeah.
sponsored by Taco Bell.
She likes Rogue Dead Guy as her beer
and drinks beer.
and likes Taco Bell, man.
I'm telling you, we're on to something here.
It's her logo. I'm not a dude.
It won't be long.
I'm a
before-
lady.
It won't be long before I'm breaking that.
She is
24-hour record.
She's 37
If that's what it
years
takes.
old.
Oh, I'm 38.
She's 37 years old.
Dang.
Is she really?
That's
She's old.
impressive. I mean,
Wow.
that she's hitting her. I don't want to say her peak because God only knows how much further she could go. But
Yeah.
she's hitting her stride. We'll say at 37. That's amazing.
Oh, Elijah says that he thinks it was on track.
On a series of 1,500 meter loops.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a 1,500 meter track as opposed to a 400 meter track, but
That's like almost a mile.
that's almost a mile.
Oh, I tried not to laugh.
That's like 110 meters shy of a mile.
And I was waiting for Thirsty to point out that she didn't run 168 miles. She ran 167.
7.84.
Somebody else did the math there. I'm. You know what? I'll give it to her. I'll bust Vaughn's balls.
You won't give it to Vaughn.
I won't give it to
You'll
Vaughn.
give it to Camille. For whatever reason, Camille can have it. Vaughn,
Because she drinks Rogue Dead Guy and eats Taco Bell, you know. Vaughn.
and he's Bud Light, drinks
a
Bud
Bud
Light,
Light.
and eats McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to get on her level.
Oh, man. Lift Heavy, Run Long, number 166, is in the books.
Thanks for listening.
We got the band back together.
We got the band back together. Monday night.